Welcome everyone to our live stream. Smart. Or I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. Because of the sensitivity of the topic that we're talking about today, we are talking about monkeys and issues related to monkeys. And so we made some earmuffs for Pinky, because this is just a little bit hard for Pinky to listen to, okay? Because could be her relatives, his relatives, sorry. So anyway, we did make earmuffs for Pinky. And so anyway, that's so just to want to thank my wife. She really helped me, because it's not easy, because you're thinking, hey, wait a minute, that could be my uncle or something like that. You know what I mean? And so I feel like we should always be sensitive. And so anyway, because of that, we are, Pinky does have earmuffs, and Pinky will not, so he'll not be listening to what we're talking about today. It's not easy, And so anyway, try to be sensitive, always. So anyway, welcome to another episode of our live stream. My name is Hussein, and you know that. Today I was actually on Father Zechariah's program, and we were talking about monkeys. Okay. Yeah. And so I just wanted to kind of continue along that theme of monkeys. And so just give me 1 second here. I just want to thank you, babe, for helping me with the earmuffs for Pinky. Yeah, she gets a lot of the credit. She really worked on that. So okay, let me just okay. There's a lot of monkey issues. And I know you guys know a lot of this already, but it's important to talk about these things. And so here is the hadith, the very famous hadith that we've talked about many times on this channel. And remember, you guys, Pinky's got earmuffs, so Pinky isn't hearing, so don't be like, oh no, be careful what you say around Pinky. No, he's got earmuffs, so you can't hear nothing. So don't worry about him inside. Okay, here is this Sahih hadith. It says, during the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, I saw a she monkey surrounded by a number of monkeys. They were all stoning it because it had committed illegal sexual intercourse. I too stoned it along with them. Now, this is a Sahih hadith, okay? In Arabic, it says, رأيت في الجاهلية كردة اجتمع عليها كردة قد زنت فرجموها فرجمتها معهم. Okay, here's the I'm sorry guys, it's a pretty violent. This is actually the thumbnail that Al Fadi channel made, because they're going to put the video out tomorrow. It's in Arabic, so you guys won't be able to hear it, understand, unless you speak Arabic. If you speak Arabic, you can go on watch it. But this is a Sahih hadith, you guys. This monkey, this female monkey, was committing adultery, and she was caught. She was guilty, and so the other monkeys began to stone him. And this guy who, look at the very top there, Amir bin Maymun. Amir bin Maymun is one of Muhammad's companions, Sahaba. Okay, so he is the one who is saying this. So he's actually the one who was stoning the monkey along with the monkeys. And you know what, you guys? This situation really does call for an episode of Seinfeld. And so let me just play this here for you.
I got tickets to the Rangers-Devils playoff tonight.
Oh, I'm there. Manangalila. What about you, George?
Can't do it, sir. I got a date.
You take the monkey side. All right, go ahead.
Kramer, you threw a banana peel at a
Monkey? Really? Yeah, but before I... Hey, Jerry. And you know, once those gorillas accept you, you got it made in the shade. Hey, Jerry. You're a smart guy, right?
No question about it.
All right. You know I was supposed to go on this special tour today with George's girlfriend?
At the zoo?
Yeah. But before I met up with her, I stopped to look at the monkeys when all of a sudden I am hit in the face with a banana peel. I turn and look, and there is this monkey really laughing it up. Because someone tells me that he did it. Well, I pick up the banana peel, and I wait for that monkey to turn around, and then I let him have it.
Kramer, you threw a banana peel at a monkey?
Well, he started it.
It's a monkey, Kramer.
Well, he pushed my buttons. I couldn't help it, Jerry.
Well, I still think it's wrong.
All right, fine. You take the monkey side. All right, go ahead.
I'm not taking anyone's side.
Well, I know what happened, Jerry. I just want to say that I'm sorry. I lost my temper, and I probably shouldn't have. I took it out on you, and look, if I've caused you any problems as a result of my behavior, well then, I'm sorry. I apologize. Even though you know, Barry, between me and you, we both know that you started it. I mean, who's kidding who? But they tell me that you're very upset, and God forbid I should disturb the very important monkey. I'm just hoping we can put this behind us. Let's just move on with our lives, okay? So no hard feelings?
On my channel here, so yes, so yeah, but anyway, but getting back to the very serious business of my, thank you, Houston always comes up with this crazy stuff, man. For the kingships went to Tarshish, which I believe is England, you guys, with the servants of Hiram. Once every 3 years the ships of Tarshish would come, bringing gold, silver, ivory, apes, and peacocks. Yep. And anyway, let me just read one more time the hadith we're talking about. During the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, I saw a she-monkey surrounded by a number of monkeys. They were all stoning it because it had committed illegal sexual intercourse. I too stoned it along with them. So this guy, Amir ibn Maymun, one of Muhammad's companions, this is the finest generation of Islam, is that first generation. He's one of them. And he actually stoned a monkey for adultery. Okay, and it's a Sahih Hadith. There's no way around it. Can't get rid of it. Sahih al-Bukhari. There's no way to, that's why Pinky has earmuffs. I just don't want Pinky to listen to this. Okay. Well, you know what? I was looking at this situation here with Ahmed, and just to kind of give you, for those of you who are, have heard, um, have heard about Hadith, some things about Hadith. I just want to tell you that Amr bin Maymun is in several Hadiths, and he is actually responsible for another very famous Hadith. Amr bin Maymun is famous for another very famous Hadith. Let me go ahead and show it to you. It says, Amr bin Maymun, I, I heard Suleiman bin Yasar talking about clothes soiled with semen. He said that Aisha had said, so, he had advice from Aisha about this. Aisha told him, you guys, what kind of people are these? What kind of people are these that talk about this kind of stuff? Okay, but Aisha said, I used to wash it off the clothes of Allah's apostle, and he would go for the prayers while the water spots were still visible on them. Okay, so Aisha explained, she heard these guys talking about semen stains on their clothes. And Aisha told them, hey, the Prophet of Allah used to have semen stains on his clothes, and I would wash his clothes, and we know she would flick the semen stains off with her nails, and then she would wash it, but Muhammad would go to prayer wearing that, and she would still see the semen stains on his clothes. And so anyway, but Amr bin Maymun is the one who communicated that hadith, okay, from Aisha, the wife of Muhammad, 6-year-old wife. And so Amr bin Maymun is, and there's just another interesting thing about Amr bin Maymun, you guys. Let me see if I could find this. Let me see if I could show you this, because there's actually a, what is this? I don't know if this is the right one. Just let me see if it's on desktop here. Shoot. There's Maymun, I asked my wife because Maymun is actually a Persian word. And in Persian, the word Maymun actually means monkey. The word Maymun actually means monkey. So this guy, Amr ibn Maymun, they used to call him Commander, Son of a Monkey. So there's a lot of monkey business going on with this guy. And so anyway, but it's still a Sahih Hadith, and this guy was a real person, and they called him Amr ibn Maymun. I don't know. One thing that they do, sometimes Arabs, is that they'll name somebody for something they did, for something about them. For instance, they'll call him the fat and Nasr, or they'll call him the Haddad, the steel worker, or in my family's case, I'm sorry to say, the bald ones, the Quran, that's what they call us, because we don't have hair. So I wonder if they started calling him that because of this monkey situation, because his name means Ibn Maymun, which is son of monkey. And so, unless this is just a big comedy network, comedy act, I don't know what to say, but anyway, this is a Sahih Hadith. It's very serious, you guys. There's no monkey business about this. This is a very serious situation. And so anyway, he's what, and you guys, we are so fortunate. We are so fortunate that another, okay, yes, like Abu Darta means father of farts. There is a guy named Abu Darta, and Darta does mean farts. So he's father of farts, possibly because he did pass gas a lot. So, so anyway, you guys, but we are so fortunate that a very well-known, highly regarded Islamic scholar, okay, his name is, let me see, get his name here right, Asqalani ibn Hajar. Asqalani ibn Hajar, very, very highly regarded, extremely respected. He's responsible for a book called Fath al-Bari on Sahih al-Bukhari, which is a book commenting on Sahih al-Bukhari. And he, you guys, we are so fortunate because he gives us more details about what actually happened with these monkeys. He has the inside story. And so we're going to actually find out the truth. I mean, this thing is like, wow, just talk about finding a, a gold mine. This was like the gold mine of monkey adultery stories. And so anyway, let's go ahead and read this. And thanks again to Asqalani ibn Hajar Asqalani, al-Asqalani, super highly regarded, and he actually wrote this. Okay, so here's the story about the monkey situation, you guys, because we only had bits and pieces, but now we have the whole story here. Now, this is the guy, Ibn Maymun, okay, Muhammad's companion, who is talking here. He says, I was in Yemen, grazing the sheep of my people upon an elevation. A male monkey came with a female monkey and laid his head on her hand. Then a younger monkey came and beckoned towards her. So another male monkey, like a young man monkey. So she gently, okay, so apparently the first guy fell asleep on her hand, okay? So she gently slipped her hand out from below the cheek of the first monkey and followed the younger monkey, okay? So she's a two-timer here, okay? She followed the younger monkey. He mated with her as I watched. So this guy's a kind of a pervert. I mean, he's watching monkeys go at it, okay? And but what happens next, you guys? This is where the whole story kind of blows up in her face. She returned to the first monkey and gently tried to slip her hand back under the cheek of the first monkey. So she just wanted to pretend like, hey, nothing happened. I just was going out for a little walk. And so she wants to put her hand back under his cheek, okay? He's still sleeping, okay? But he woke up suddenly, smelled her, and cried out. Now, you know how loud monkeys can be when they cry out, okay? This is a very loud monkey, okay? And he cried out. Then the monkeys gathered around, and he began screaming while pointing towards her with his hand. So, this jilted monkey, okay, can smell. He can, because monkeys can smell stuff like that. And he smelled that she had cheated on him. And so he starts pointing towards her and, yelling. And he began screaming while pointing towards her with his hand. The other monkeys went all about and came back with that monkey, okay, the young guy that she cheated with. So the other monkeys, they're like Columbo, or they're like, James Bond monkeys, and they knew who the cheater, who the guy, the fornicator was, the fornicator monkey, the young guy. And look what they do. Look at what these monkeys do, you guys. I mean, just amazing. This is in Yemen, of course. These are Yemeni monkeys. Okay. They dug a pit for the two of them. So these monkeys are smart. If anybody has pictures or has actually seen, monkeys digging a hole, I've never seen that. I mean, do they do it with their hands? How did they dig this hole? Do they have shovels? Are these monkey shovels? What kind of shovels are they? But they dug a pit for the two of them and stoned them both. So I had witnessed the stoning being carried out by other than humans. Wow. Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. This guy is so highly regarded, you guys. I mean, he's like Ibn Kathir and all those guys. Very, very highly regarded. And he's the one who gives us these precious details about what happened in this situation. Because I know you're like me. You hear a story like this, you want to know more. You want to know the details, you know. And here he is, man, with this treasure trove of information about this very important story. Okay, so okay, so you guys, you know, so this really did happen, and this guy really saw this monkey being stoned. You know, like you, I have questions. You know, number one, okay, the very first thing you read here is, oops, this is the wrong one. Okay, during the period of ignorance. Okay, now the period of ignorance, you guys, is pre-Islamic, the time prior to, it's called the Jahiliyyah. In Arabic, they call it the Jahiliyyah, which is the time of ignorance, which is before Islam came. So this all happened before Islam came. Okay, and so the natural question is, now the monkeys did this in the time of the Jahiliyyah. Now, after Islam came, did the monkeys' behavior change? I mean, this happened during the time of the Jahiliyyah, you know, during the time of ignorance. But did the monkey behavior change after Islam came? Okay, now we know this is before Islam. What about after Islam? Did the monkey behavior change? Okay, there's a lot of questions here. You know, how did the monkeys know that that was the prescribed? And I have another, you know, because I looked this up, I researched on Google. And, you know, maybe we could even ask, I don't know if I have Grok. Let me see if I have Grok. Okay. Because like you, I have questions. I have a lot of questions, you know. And here, let me try to download Grok, see if Grok will help us here. I prefer Grok to ChatGPT. I feel like ChatGPT is Lily J's domain. So, just kidding. You know, my question that I want to ask. Okay, فتح الباب. Okay. Truth Defender sent me something too. Yes. Okay, let's see. Are monkeys generally monogamous?
No, most monkeys aren't monogamous. Only a few species, like some marmosets or tamarins, are, sticking with one partner. Generally, they're more flexible.
Okay. So there you have it, you guys.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Monkeys are not generally monogamous. So they are, how shall I say this? But
Promiscuous? Yeah, that's the word. Multiple partners, no strings attached.
Grok said it for us. I was going to say something a little bit harsher. I was going to say they're all a bunch of fornicators. All these monkeys, guys, are adulterers and fornicators. All monkeys, guys. You heard it here. You heard it here. All monkeys are adulterers and fornicators. They have multiple partners. They play the field. Or in the case of monkeys, they play the jungle. Okay. And so, yeah, they're all, I mean, she says there's what, a couple, very few species that are not that way. Okay, but generally monkeys, I mean, like 99% of them are a bunch of fornicators. They're a bunch of adulterers. Okay, so this woman, monkey, got caught, and so, and it's a Sahih hadith. This is Sahih hadith, you guys. This is very serious. Okay, so during the pre-Islamic period, okay, so this was during the Jahiliyyah. So the question is, did monkeys act differently after? Did monkeys act differently after the Jahiliyyah? Okay, let me see what our brother has sent us. Okay, Fath al-Bari. Yeah, that's the book. Yes, Fath al-Bari. Oh man, it's gonna take. This is in Arabic. Yeah. Wow. Thank you for sending me that. That is a great resource. Fath al-Bari on Sahih al-Bukhari. That is an awesome resource. Thank you so much for sending that to me. I will I don't know if I can send this to myself. Let me see if I can send it to myself. This book right here, it is, has actual commentary on Sahih al-Bukhari. And it's, super highly regarded book, and look at the level of intellectual curiosity that this guy has, that, he's able to find all those details about these monkeys. How do you find that kind of information? Who do you talk to get that information, But he had all of this information about how the monkeys went after she gets caught. Okay. As soon as the female monkey is identified as guilty of adultery, the other monkeys, how did they know to go and find the other guilty monkey, bring him back, and then dig a hole? They dug a hole for him, put those monkeys in there, and stoned them. And then Ibn Maymun, one of Muhammad's close companions, one of his, you call him one of his apostles, joined in stoning the monkey. And so this is in the Sahih al-Bukhari, you guys. You can't make this up, And if you're a Muslim, you're stuck with this. This is your religion. This is the number 2 book of Islam. And so these monkeys, the question, comes, how did the monkeys know? Okay, maybe if there's any Muslim here, we welcome you to come up. How did the monkeys know that the punishment for adultery is stoning? How did the monkeys know? You know why? You know why I say that, guys? Because there's another very famous hadith. And in this other hadith, there was a man and woman, a Jewish man and woman, and they had committed adultery. And they went to Muhammad and said, hey, Muhammad, what do you think we should do with this? Because they didn't want to stone them. And they thought, let's go to Muhammad and ask him. And that way, maybe he'll be merciful. Good luck at that, man. Muhammad being merciful to Jews, give me a break. And Muhammad, what did Muhammad say? He says, I believe, bring the Torah. Bring the Torah. So Muhammad knew the Jews read the Torah. He says, bring me the Torah, because he knew he was going to get these 2 fewer Jews in the world. And so he says, bring the Torah. They brought him the Torah. And by the way, here is the stream. If there's any Muslim here who would like to come on, here's the link. Please come on. And and Muhammad says to the Torah, when they bring the Torah, he says, I believe in you and the one who sent you. Okay, so Muhammad believed in the Torah. And then Muhammad says, okay, open the verse about adultery, see what it says in your book. And they opened it, and it says, Moses says the adulterers are supposed to be stoned. And so they stoned that old man and woman. And when they were stoning them, the man got on top of the woman trying to protect her. But they both were killed. Okay, Muhammad didn't have mercy. He had no mercy, especially for Jews. especially for Jews. We know what he did to the Benu Qurayza, the Benu Nadir, the Benu Kainuka, to Khaybar. Muhammad had a long track record of abusing Jews. So anyway, welcome, Tiger. God bless you. But how did these monkeys know? Muhammad knew the punishment for adultery, and the Jews, they knew. But how did these monkeys know? How did these monkeys know what the punishment for adultery was? One reason, I know you guys know this, but let me see. I don't know what you guys think about this, but the Quran maybe will help us to know this, because there's this hadith here about the Quran. Okay, I heard the Prophet saying, "From among my followers, there will be some people who consider illegal sexual intercourse, the wearing of silk, drinking of alcohol." Oh, shoot, you guys. You know what? This is not about, this isn't the right hadith, but it's got the right topic in it. It says, this is what Allah's punishment will be. He will transform the rest of them into monkeys and pigs. Okay. And so Muhammad said that Allah got mad at the Jews, and this is in the Quran, not in the hadith, and he turned those Jews into monkeys and pigs. According to Muhammad, this is in the Quran, like 3 or 4 times it's in the Quran, that Allah, let me see if I could get that verse to show it to you. I shouldn't. Okay, here is what Allah did to the Jews. It's in the Quran. And some Jews who broke the Sabbath, and it says, when they stubbornly persisted in violation, we said to them, be disgraced apes. Okay, and in Surah Al-Baqarah it says, you're already aware of those who broke the Sabbath. We said to them, be disgraced apes. So Allah turned Jews into apes and pigs, okay, according to the Quran. And so my question is, maybe these monkeys are descendants of those, and so that they knew the Torah and they knew that you're supposed to stone adulterers. I don't know. It's a theory. And so, how did they know that they were supposed to stone adulterers? And how did Amr bin Maymun, how did he know what the monkeys were doing to where he could participate with them in stoning that monkey, that adulterous monkey? There's a lot of questions, and there's different Islamic scholars who comment on this, and they comment on it, which kind of shows you that they believe that this situation happened. And so, and this, you guys, first of all, I just want to say we have Amr bin Maymun, we have Imam Bukhari, we have Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. These are big time Islamic scholars, big time, and they all believe this story. Well, there's others who believe it too. Let's look at some other Islamic scholars, what they said about this. Ibn Taymiyyah inclined to view the story is accurate. Ibn Taymiyyah, you guys, some people call him the father of modern terrorism. So this is what he says. This is something that people have witnessed in our times with animals other than monkeys, even among birds. This is what Ibn Taymiyyah said. Ibn Taymiyyah, you guys, one of the superheroes of Islamic scholarship. He is a super well-beloved scholar, okay? And he said this, about the stoning of the monkeys. He says, this is something that people have witnessed in our times with animals other than monkeys, even among birds. So there's other animals that do this. Other animals know that you're supposed to stone adulterers and adulteresses. An amazing, amazing thing here. Al-Qurtubi, you guys, this guy is super big, okay? Imam Qurtubi, in his tafsir, under the commentary, discusses this narration and mentions that the words, the monkey had committed zina or adultery, may be a mistake. Okay, and he says it may be a mistake because these words are not found in certain prints of Sahih al-Bukhari. But Imam Bukhari also narrates this narration in his other book, Tarikh al-Kabir, the great history book. He does not record these words over there, and he does not record these words over there. Okay, so, but you know, this is a Sahih hadith. You got to do something with it, you guys. They are stuck with it. This is almost like a Quran verse. It's so high. Sahih, highest grade of hadith. And so you're stuck with it. Okay. Here's Ibn Qutayba. Ibn Qutayba, okay, mentions that this was an assumption on the part of Amir. He could not necessarily be sure that the other monkeys had stoned this monkey on account of zina and not for some other reason. Okay, so, you know, Ibn Qutayba is saying here, hey, wait a minute. Amir, we have no record of Amir ibn Maymun. We have no record of him or any hadith or anything that says that he understood animal languages like Solomon in the Quran understood ants, he understood birds and stuff. But there's no record of this guy having like a monkey language. And so there's no record of that. And so they're saying, hey, he sees a bunch of monkeys stoning this woman monkey, and he has no way of communicating with them or understanding them to know, hey, why are you stoning her? Is it because she stole a banana? Is it because, you know, in that case, they probably would, you know, cut off the hand or something. But here it's stoning, which means it's adultery. And there's another issue with this, and that is that in Islam, you know, there was a verse in the Quran that did say you're supposed to stone adulterers. Okay, but as we know, there was another animal, the sheep, that came in and ate that verse, so that verse is not in the Quran about stoning adultery. That's not in the Quran. Okay, because a lamb ate it. Okay, but even though the words are not in the Quran, see, there's three different kinds of abrogation. Okay, there's one kind of abrogation where there's a verse in the Quran, Allah says, take the verse out and forget that it ever existed. Okay, so that the verse and the verdict of that verse are both eliminated. Another kind of abrogation is that the verse is still in the Quran. The verse is still in the Quran, but its verdict no longer applies. For instance, you have your religion, I have mine. It's still in the Quran. On CNN, that's the only verse they quote on CNN. Well, but it doesn't apply anymore. Why? It's been abrogated by verse 9:5. Kill the infidels wherever you find them. Well, that's what Suyuti says. These verses have all been abrogated. A lot of Muslims don't know this, okay, but it has been. It's been abrogated. And in that case, the verse is still there, but the verdict is gone. But in the case of like the stoning of the adulteress, the verse is gone, okay, in this case because a goat ate it, but the verdict still applies. They still stone adulteresses. they do still stone them, even though it's not in the Quran. Okay, but even though the verse isn't in the Quran anymore, the verdict still applies. So those are three kinds of abrogation. And this one about stoning adulterers, it is one that was in the Quran. Aisha talks about it, but it was under her bed when Muhammad died, and a sheep ate it. Okay, so it was abrogated. Actually, somebody said that before. Truth Defender Pinky has earmuffs on. I don't know if you can see that. I put earmuffs on Pinky Day because of this topic, and I appreciate your sensitivity in being aware of that. So yes. Yes. So yeah, so there you go, you guys. And then let's go back to, let me see, is this Ibn Taymiyyah? No, okay, Ibn Qutaydah, see the rest of what he had to say. Okay, so he could not possibly be sure that the other monkeys had stoned this monkey on account of zina and not for some other reason. He could not possibly have understood the communication methods used by monkeys, nor could the monkeys communicate with him to inform him the reason behind their actions. So, there's kind of that communication barrier, that language barrier between monkeys, like you saw with on Seinfeld. So anyway, you guys can say, well, wait a minute, look in the Bible, there's a story of Balaam with the donkey. And, we should actually look at that. We should look at that. Because there was a talking donkey in the Bible, the story of Balaam. Okay. Let's just look at that story. Oops. Okay. Love this story. So, all right. It says this was Balaam was he really was a prophet, man. God spoke to him. The Holy Spirit spoke to him. It says that, literally. It says God said to him. He could listen to the voice of God. This guy was such a I hate to say loser, man. He was such an evil man, what he did, but he really was a prophet. He really heard from God. God really spoke to him. He wasn't an Israelite. He was a Moabite or a Midianite. And yet he was a real prophet. He really spoke to God, and God really spoke to him. Many times it says that. So, and in fact, Peter in his letter says the madness of the prophet. So he calls him a prophet. Okay, an evil man, but he was a prophet. And it literally says the Holy Spirit came upon him. Dude, this guy is just a fascinating story. But anyway, so Balaam got up in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went. By the way, guys, who can tell me one of the descendants of Balaam's donkey? I'll give you $5. Can anybody tell me one of the descendants of Balaam's donkey? Does anybody know? Oh, okay. Houston Euler is always okay. Marion got it this time. Yafur, Muhammad's donkey, because you see the prophet donkeys, prophetic donkeys, they're all related, and so they're all from the same lineage. Okay, so Muhammad said, including the donkey that Jesus rode into Jerusalem, supposedly, they're all from the same family line. Okay, and Yafur, Muhammad's donkey, who committed suicide when Muhammad died, he was also a talking donkey. Muhammad had some amazing discussions. He asked the donkey, "Hey, do you think about women?" That's what the prophet of Allah, the seal of the prophets, asks a donkey. Hey, do you think about women? And Yafur, turns out he was gay. He said, Of course, he might have said it like, okay, sorry. All right. Anyway, let's get back to Balaam's donkey. Balaam got in the morning, saddled his donkey, and went with his Moabite officials. But God was very angry when he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the road to oppose him. Balaam was riding on his donkey, and his 2 servants were with him. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword in his hand, it turned off the road into a field. Balaam beat it to get it back on the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path through the vineyards with walls on both sides. The donkey saw the angel of the Lord. It pressed close to the wall, crushing Balaam's foot against it. So he beat the donkey again. And then the angel of the Lord moved on ahead and stood in a narrow place where there was no room to turn either to the right or the left. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it lay down under Balaam, and he was angry and beat it with his staff. Then listen to this, you guys. This is where what's so important to know. It says, then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and it said to Balaam, what have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times? Balaam, real smart guy, answered the donkey, you have made a fool of me. If only I had a sword in my hand, I would kill you right now. The donkey said to Balaam, am I not your donkey, which you have always ridden to this day? Have I been in the habit of doing this to you? Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with his sword drawn. You know, the key word here, you guys, is the Lord opened the donkey's mouth. So you see, the Lord opens the donkey's mouth, and this is a prophetic. It's the only time it's happened in history that we know of, besides the demonic talking snake in the garden. Okay, but this is the only time in the Bible where God makes an animal speak. But it's a miracle. God opened the donkey's mouth to speak. So it is a miracle, and we have no problem with that. God does miracles, no problem with that. But this is not the same as what you see with Muhammad's crazy stories. Why? Because with Muhammad's crazy stories, this is not a miraculous thing that's happening here. This is not a miraculous thing that's happening here. This is just normal, regular day, average day situation. He's just walking around. He sees 2 monkeys. The monkeys, one of them commits adultery, which, by the way, all monkeys are adulterers. All monkeys are fornicators. They all are unfaithful to their spouses. They don't have spouses, by the way. Okay. But this wasn't a miraculous thing. This is just something that happened. This is the same, you guys, as Muhammad's mother supposedly being pregnant for 4 years with Muhammad. The Muslims believe that Muhammad's mother, Aminah, was pregnant with Muhammad 4 years because Muhammad was born 4 years after his alleged father, Abdullah, died. So Abdullah died in, say, 1969. Muhammad was born in 1973. Okay, so we'll say, well, how? That's 4 years after Abdullah died. The explanation is that Aminah was pregnant for 4 years. That's why he was born 4 years after his father died. But you say, okay, well, we believe in miraculous births. We've seen with Sarah, saw it with Rachel, saw it with Leah, saw it with Rebecca. We saw it with Samson's mother. We saw it with Elizabeth. Of course, we saw it with Mary. So we believe in miraculous births. But the problem is, Islam doesn't make it a miracle birth. It says it's just something that happens. They say, oh yeah, this happens all the time. There's lots of women who are pregnant for 4 years. In fact, some Muslim scholars say, no, not just 4 years. Some women are pregnant for 10 years. Some women are pregnant for 20 years, you guys. This is literally in the teaching. I believe it, there's the 4 schools, Maliki, Hanbali, Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, the four schools of Islam. I believe it's the Hanafi or the Hanbali. They believe you could be pregnant for 10 years. You could be pregnant for 10 years. So it's not even a miraculous thing. It's just something that happens, women get pregnant for 10 years. So it kind of takes it out of the realm of the miraculous. They just say it's a natural thing that happens. And this situation with the monkeys is not a miraculous thing. It's just something that happens, that monkeys tend to stone adulterous monkeys, even though all monkeys are adulterers. All monkeys are fornicators. If you take nothing else out of this live stream, you guys, Pinky's has the earmuffs on, you guys, so Pinky's not hearing any of this. All monkeys are fornicators. They're all cheaters. They're all adulterers. They should all be stoned. Okay. Following the logic of this hadith, which is a sahih hadith. Okay. So if you go under Sharia law, these monkeys, they're all fornicators and adulterers, all of them. Okay. So, all right. Okay. Well, that's kind of what I wanted to. Oh, okay. There was this other guy. I can't remember who he was, but he also wanted to try to explain, what's going on here with these monkeys. And this is his explanation. One answer is that these monkeys were disfigured humans. Okay, so that, he's saying, wait a minute, because monkeys, he says generally monkeys don't have human morality, and they don't generally know what the Torah says or what Islam teaches in Sharia law. And so because of that, he says these monkeys were disfigured humans. An incident occurred, and thus it happened. The whole event seemed like a scenario of stoning, while in reality, there is no moral responsibility for such creatures or punishment. However, as a note, the lineage of disfigured humans into monkeys does not continue. Okay, so this no longer happens, you guys. So what he's saying, this guy, I can't remember who, this isn't one of the big names, this is just some sheikh. He's just saying that monkeys, this particular species of monkeys, lineage of monkeys, no longer exists. So, okay, so, don't be thinking that you're going to find monkeys stoning other monkeys nowadays. I guess that's what he's saying. So, anyway, you guys, this is Sahih. Hey, no way, man. Rock and roll, man. God Logic Apologetics. God bless you, my brother. So good to see you, my friend. Woo-hoo. I don't know if you want to come on, man. You're welcome to come on if you do. Dude. And this is my big topic when God Logic comes on. A monkey adultery. So if you'd like to come on, my brother, love to have you, man. Wow, such an honor to have you on, man. Yeah, I've just been loving your loving the stuff that you've been putting out, especially the okay. I know it, man. It's sometimes you have to talk about adulterous monkeys, and it's a sahih hadith, and by the way, I have my monkey Pinky, but I put earmuffs on him so that he's not listening to this. It's very sensitive. So yeah, so I don't know if you heard, but I just want to tell you, just in case you haven't heard, I'm sure you have heard, but just in case you did not hear about this, I wanted to tell you about this Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. He's got the whole story about what happened with the monkeys. And this is, I don't know if you heard it, but it'll just take me a minute to read it. It's really worth reading. Let me just let me just read this, because this is hilarious, because this actually gives us the details of what happened in that when those monkeys got stoned. It says, I was in Yemen grazing the sheep of my people upon an elevation. a male monkey came with the female one and laid his head on her hand. Then a younger monkey came and beckoned towards her. So she gently slipped her hand out from below the cheek of the first monkey and followed him. So she's following the younger monkey. Okay, she's being seduced by this younger monkey. So she leaves the original monkey she was with, the guy, and goes with this other monkey. And while her, fiance monkey is sleeping. Okay, this other guy mated with her as I watched. Then she returned and gently tried to slip her hand back under the cheek of the first monkey. But he woke up suddenly, smelled her, and cried out. Then the monkeys gathered round, and he began screaming while pointing towards her with his hand. The monkeys went all about and came back with that monkey that I recognized. Now, this was the cheater monkey, okay? They dug a pit for the two of them. So these monkeys dug a pit for these adulterous monkeys, okay, and stoned them both. So I had witnessed stoning being carried out by other than humans. This is Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, Fath al-Bari. I mean, this guy is super highly regarded in Islam, and he wrote this. So, yeah, so I thought, dude, this is the whole story, man. And so, so praise the Lord, man. We got, we were able to provide you with this deep insight. And so, yeah, thanks for dropping by, man. Wow, that was a real blessing, you guys. Woohoo! God Logic came on the channel, you guys. Woo-hoo! Yes, man. And God bless you, my brother. God bless you and your family. And we love you. We love I always watch you, always listen to you during work. And so appreciate what you do. So appreciate for the way you have been. No way. Avery, man, I'm serious about this, man. I have a friend. His name is Zakaria Butros. Okay, I've worked with him for 10 years on television. He's got a $60 million price on his head from Al Qaeda, and he's like 90 years old. I don't know how much longer we're going to have him, but I'm on his TV station at least once a month. He has me on to do some topic, and it's in Arabic. It's in Arabic. And so today I talked about this topic on his channel. And so, but I would really love to have you come on sometime just to introduce you to him, just because you're kind of doing what he started, 70 years ago in Egypt. And he went to prison. His brother was murdered. And so I would love to have you one time actually come on. It would be like on a Monday morning, if you could come on with me, and I would translate into Arabic for you. And so just think about it, and would love to have you. So, and I know he would love to know what you're doing, and love to hear about the way God is using you. Because God is using him like that for the last 70 years on television, on internet, and he was doing this in Egypt, and they put him in jail twice, and he had to leave. Yeah, Father Butros. And so anyway, let me know if you'd ever like to do that, man. We'd love to have you. He would love to meet you. And dude, I'm just kind of blown away, man. It's such a blessing to have you on the channel today. So awesome. Yeah. Let me see. My wife's asleep. I won't say. But anyway, guys. So yeah, that's the monkey situation. And so anyway, they're going to actually put the video on tomorrow on the Al Fadi channel. It's in Arabic, but you can still go watch it. And Yeah, it was hilarious, man. And Father Zechariah was just laughing, man. He's talked about this monkey situation for a long time. Okay. Now, did he have all the details that I discovered? I don't know. But so all right. Well, shoot, man. Well, we made it exactly to an hour. Praise God, man. So all right, you guys. Well, thank you very much. Yes, yes, amen. Yeah, so let me know, Avery, if you'd ever like to do that, man. We'd love to have you, man. God bless you, bless your family, protect your family in Jesus' name, and be with you. And also, you guys, and pray for David Wood and inspiring philosophy and Chris Claus, and I think that Malik, he just doxed all of them, and Jai and daughter in Christ, Jai and daughter of Christ, pray for them all. So all right, you guys. Well, shoot. All right. If we have any Muslims here who would like to come up. All right. She's at the, okay, I'm in the East Wing and she's on the West Wing. You know, our house is like the White House. So, yes. So if we don't have any Muslims who want to come up, let me just go ahead and put one more link here. If any Muslim would like to come up, we welcome you to come and help us understand. You know, I have some questions. Let me just tell you my questions, okay? Number one, this incident with the monkeys happened during the time of ignorance. In Arabic, it's the Jahiliyyah. You know, this incident happened then. And my question, obvious question is, did their behavior change after the Jahiliyyah? Did their behavior change after Islam came? Did monkeys start doing things differently? Because it's very specific, this happened before the Jahiliyyah. Another question, I'd love to have a Muslim come up and explain this to us. How did the monkeys know that you're supposed to stone adulterers? How did the monkeys know that you're supposed to stone adulterers? You know, like I said, this is pre-Islam, so that verse was not in the Quran. Okay, and we all know what happened to the verse of stoning. You know, the lamb ate it, and so it's not even in the Quran anymore. But how would the monkeys have known that? You know, did they know the Torah? You know, so there's just so many questions, you guys, and so. Is there any Muslim here who would like to come up and help us to understand? You know, we're a bunch of ignorant kuffar. And if not, then we will go ahead and call it a night. And thank you guys for being here. And thank you for, if you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Yasur, sa'idni. Yasur, samahni. Yasur, udkhul qalbi. We love you, but much more importantly, he loves you. Have a great night. And keeping in with our theme.
If you have ever wondered why dull apologists lie so much, it's because on a rare occasion that they tell the truth. This happens.
One of the reasons I accepted Islam was the scientific miracles. I'll be honest with you. And now we know that this whole scientific miracles was absolute nonsense.
You're going to have to repeat that.
Now we know that this whole scientific...
that the standard narrative has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say.